Jackets! Let's go Jackets!
Hello there, everyone. Welcome to Blue Jackets. It's a fun Blue Jackets themed podcast. My name is Kevin, and join me tonight is my co-host Hefty Duck and our Boston friend Wyan, Wood Wyan.
Wood.
On today's show, we're going to be talking about Zach Werenski winning the Norris Trophy. Absolutely deserved it. An awesome accomplishment for Zach Werenski and a big moment for the Blue Jackets and Zach Werenski. I'm going to do a Dante Fabbro report card, and so much more. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff on the show. So let's get going, everyone. Welcome to the show.
Welcome in. I hope everyone has had a great past week. It's been nice and warm here in Northeast Ohio. It's been a little raining here and there too. I mean, I'm kind of Northeast Central, but besides the point, it's been real hot out. I mean, today was a little bit cloud covered, but can't complain anyway. If you enjoy our content, don't forget to like, share, subscribe wherever you're watching from. We don't do any ad reads because the one ad read that we kind of did for a while was gambling related, and I don't want to do any gambling ad reads ever. So if the easiest way to support us for free is to like, share, subscribe wherever you're watching from. Don't forget to listen to us too if you want. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Google, Apple, wherever you can find podcasts. We are there. Don't forget to check me out online. I'm at Lance Schrock Tattoos on Instagram. Come get work done. We got a really cool flash event coming up at the end of this month. Check it out.
All right. So before we get going here, excuse me. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And don't forget to check out Uni Blue Soldiers. Check out Uni Blue Soldiers, a fun Blue Jackets themed group. So, first things first.
Oh, I was muted. I was asking Wyan if you had any shout outs real quick. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Anything? Wine?
Oh, I haven't got anything yet.
All right. Sorry, I was just making sure.
All right.
Continue.
All right. So we're going to get going here. So the big news in the Blue Jackets world is that Zach Werenski has won the Norris Trophy. Realistically, he should have won it last year, not Cal McCarr, but, you know, neither here nor there. But Zach Werenski, Norris Trophy, winning the trophy for best defenseman in hockey, absolutely deserves it. Awesome season for the Blue Jackets. He played really good. And he earned it, and it's just awesome, and I love it. I really do. A big moment, not just for the Blue Jackets, but also a big moment for Zach Werenski, and I love it. And nicely done, Zach Werenski. I have some more thoughts about that, but for now, I want to get Hefty Duck and Wyan in here to talk about what they think about it.
Yeah, absolutely deserved. I don't think that there's been hardly any argument at all from anybody around the league. From what I've been seeing on the internet, the only single complaint I've seen from anybody was that, you know, the little video they did where they, like, he was at the barbecue with his family, and then they were pretending to just do like a news story, like a local news story on him, and you know, new dads in the NHL, so on Father's Day, and then they brought up the trophy out. That's where they surprised him with the trophy, and there's a couple complaints from people that were like, "Man, bring back the award shows. All these NHL guys seem so flat, and these fake reactions and this and that." I'm like, it's not fake reactions. It wanted to surprise too, so yeah. Two, they're an NHL player. They're not all gonna become like TV analysts. They're not all gonna become PK Subban and Mike Messier and Jody Shelley and stuff like that. Not gonna be as animated as those kind of guys. But I mean, for those of you who have kind of kept up with Zach Werenski throughout the years, you saw how happy he really was. I mean, I do think he was shocked and a little bit speechless. I know he was obviously knew he had the potential and knew he was nominated, but to actually just get the award and, you know, just to have that kind of thrown at you, it's kind of neat that he got to accept it in front of all of his like close family and friends, because the award shows are even more worse with that kind of stuff. That was like I don't understand about the complaint was the award shows are worse because they're kind of forced to be there. It's also during the playoffs, which makes it awkward.
Yeah, literally everyone was complaining about the awards show, so I don't get that at all.
Yeah, I was like, dude, you can't have it both ways. This is unique. They did now. The one that I didn't really like was, who was it? They pretended like he had like something dangerous in his car or something like that. It's not about Zach Werenski, so maybe we'll talk about it near the end of the show when we're on our fun time. But yeah, that was one thing. But yeah, overall, absolutely deserved. He got the most votes by quite a bit. First place votes by a lot. So congratulations, Zach Werenski, well deserved. I think he could have possibly gotten it last year, but you know, it is rare to see a defenseman get the Norris Trophy without his team making the playoffs. Very rare. So great on you. Good on the people from around the NHL recognizing his good year.
Right. So why not what gets you in here? Your thoughts on Zach Werenski winning the Norris Trophy?
Yeah, I mean, like you guys said, well deserved. He definitely would have been number one on my ballot. Yeah, just a phenomenal season, really. I mean, when you're leading your team by like 20 something points and you're a defenseman, I mean, that's how you know you're a special kind of player. I mean, that's just, and when you win the Norris Trophy, like that was one of the tightest Norris Trophy races of all time. Like there were legit like 7 guys you could make the case for.
Right.
But yeah, I think Werenski was definitely the guy that was elevating his team the most, even if they didn't end up making the playoffs in the end.
And if you, the last 4 seasons, the Blue Jackets have had a little improvement, because you go from 58 points, 66 points, 89 points, 92 points. There are many reasons for that, but Zach Werenski is a big reason for that, why they've been able to go from 58 points, 66 points, 89 points to 92 points. That does make a difference. And another thing to consider here, Ryan is right. There were guys that you could have picked besides Zach Werenski, and you're like, yeah, okay, I get it. That I could see why they could have won that. You know, Cal McCarr, Quinn Hughes, you know, Rasmus Dahlin. You could go down the list. There was other guys that could have done it. But the thing is, I'll just use Cal McCarr and Quinn Hughes. No disrespect to you, but to a certain extent, why you were doing better is because for Cal McCarr, he gets to play with Nathan McKinnon. Like, that makes a difference. As for Quinn Hughes, he gets to play with Brock Faber, Matt Boldy, and Kirill Kaprizov. That makes a difference. This isn't to say that Zach Werenski doesn't play with good players. He does, but he doesn't have a Kirill Kaprizov or a, Quinn Hughes or a Brock Faber or a Nathan McKinnon to play with. It does make a difference. If you took away Quinn Hughes from Minnesota, it would hurt them. They'd still be doing okay because, again, they would still have Kirill Kaprizov and Brock Faber.
You can see how they leveled up instantly as soon as he was on the team. It leveled them up.
Minnesota would still have Kirill Kaprizov and Matt Boldy and Brock Faber, even if you took away Quinn Hughes. You can take away Zach Werenski from the Blue Jackets, and the Blue Jackets are not doing very good. Zach Werenski is that good for the Blue Jackets. He's that important to the Blue Jackets. Now, as the Blue Jackets, they're a young up-and-coming team, and they're getting better as they continue to get better and better and better. That won't be as big of an issue because you'll have guys like a Kent Johnson, a Kirill Marchenko, and Adam Fantilli, eventually a Caden Lindstrom, a Jackson Smith, another Luca Del Belbaluz, other top prospects that you have that will eventually take that next step and become better, and then you won't have to have Zach Werenski mean as much to you because you'll have other guys take some of that load off of Zach Werenski. But for now, Zach Werenski is really that important. So, and I did see that, you have to make the playoffs BS sort of thing. Like, if he's a really good and he deserves it, he deserves it. And Zach Werenski absolutely deserves it because if you paid attention to the Blue Jackets, Zach Werenski is an awesome player. But now it's getting to the point to where people from the outside hockey world that, generally speaking, don't pay attention to the Blue Jackets are now like, man, Zach Werenski, he's an awesome player. Man, the Blue Jackets have a good player there. Or teams that, man, I wish I had a Zach Werenski. He's just that good. And the way that he's really played the last 2 seasons, whether that be at the Four Nations, the World Hockey Championship, the Olympics, or with the Blue Jackets, it's been really that good to where people saying, man, he's a real good player and the Blue Jackets have a good one. And man, he should, be a Norris Trophy finalist. Man, he should win the Norris Trophy. He's just that good and he deserves it that much. And this is just awesome and happy that Zach Werenski won the Norris Trophy. And it's not only a big moment for him, but it's a big moment for the Blue Jackets because now people are talking about the Blue Jackets in a more positive way. It brings more positive attention to the Blue Jackets, in part because of this. There are other reasons, too, that the Blue Jackets in more recent years have been getting more positive attention. Johnny Gaudreau coming to play for the Blue Jackets when no one was expecting that. That was a lot of, wow, Johnny Gaudreau is going to play for the Blue Jackets. Wow, that's cool. The outdoor game that the Blue Jackets played at Ohio State that set attendance records and new TV records. And like, wow, the Blue Jackets are playing an outdoor hockey game at Ohio State. Wow, that's cool. So that helped. But like when you have something like this, like Zach Werenski winning the Norris Trophy for best defenseman in hockey, it's awesome. And it brings so much positive attention to Zach Werenski and the Blue Jackets. And I love it. So nicely done, Zach Werenski. You really earned it.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the playoff thing again because, I just want to point out that it was a very tight Eastern Conference this year from start to finish.
Yes.
They only missed the playoffs by a few points, and if Columbus had been a Western Conference team, they would have made the playoffs by quite a safe margin with 92 points.
Yes.
So, it's more the fact that the Jackets were in a very tough conference more than Zach Werenski can't carry his team to the playoffs or something like that.
That's very true, Wine. That's another thing what you just said that's so true is that from top to bottom, the entire season, the Eastern Conference was just so tough that you outside like one team, you were never really out of it until you were officially out of it. And day and every game, it was just so competitive from top to bottom where teams were just beating up on each other that it just made it that much harder where you compare it to what the Western Conference was, and it was like not even close. It was just like, my goodness, just compared to the Eastern Conference, it was just so weak.
Yeah, they would have won the Pacific Division.
I know, God. So someone asked Connor McDavid, like, oh, what's it like playing something like, what's it like playing in like, I think it was like the Pacific Division or something like that. And he's like, oh, it's a pillow fight. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
I think he
Western
said something
Conference.
about how they're lucky it's a pillow fight because otherwise
Yeah.
they wouldn't have been in the position they were in or something.
Right, because the Western Conference was just so god awful compared to the Eastern Conference, was just so god awful. So it's just like, yeah, that's a good point that Wayne brought up there, that the Eastern Conference from top to bottom was just so hard and so tight from start to finish, just beating up on each other.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, I think I saw. This is kind of like back to it. The voting for this kind of stuff. I think I saw that he beat out Cale Makar by like 400 votes, first place votes, or just 400
Smoked
votes.
him.
Yep.
Good.
Like, and then it fell off by like another 400 for like Darlene after that. And so it shows that, the people who watch hockey the most, because the people who vote on this is the PWHA, the Professional Hockey Writers, PHWA, Professional Hockey Writers Association. And they're the ones that know ball. That's not ball, but you know what I mean. They're the ones that day in, day out. This isn't some like eye test bullshit from like, oh, who do you think the fans love the most? Like the fans are gonna love whoever's on the biggest team the most and whoever's in the spotlight the most. It's gonna be like probably Quinn Hughes. It's like what I feel like that because he's the most prominent there out of some of the top of the defensive guys, but. Yeah, what an honor for Zach Werenski. Pretty freaking cool.
And that's another thing I agree with you there, Hefty Duck, is just that these are people that the writers, the people who write about hockey, watch hockey, they're people like you and me that actually get it compared to, more casual that maybe doesn't pay attention as much and to where maybe you kind of worry about that. Oh, well, maybe they would pick Cale Makar or something or Quinn Hughes compared to, well, they're both good players having good seasons, but it's just like, no, like it had to be Zach Werenski. I'm not just saying this because I like the Blue Jackets and everything, because even if you put that off to the side, it had to be Zach Werenski, a player that's that big and that important to the Blue Jackets. Without him, the Blue Jackets are in a much worse position. I do not think that the Blue Jackets are where they are right now as a team that has steadily made improvements over the last 4 seasons, going from 58 points, 66 points to 89 points to 92 points without Zach Werenski. Because right now, I know, like, I understand many Blue Jackets fans don't like how the season ended, and I'm one of those people where you had a chance to make the playoffs, and you went 3-13 in your final 13 games, and that's a big reason why you didn't get in. But even if you put that off to the side, I still feel better about the Blue Jackets because you can see that there's positive progression that the Blue Jackets are making over the last 4 seasons. You can see that. And a big reason for that is Zach Werenski. There's other reasons why, too, because guys like Kirill Marchenko and Adam Fantilli and some other young up-and-coming guys are starting to pop. You can see that talent there. But like a big reason why the Blue Jackets are where they are right now, it's kind of that team that's making improvements and a young up-and-coming team is because Zach Werenski. Without him, the Blue Jackets are not there. And I said it earlier on in the show, but again, take away Cale Makar from the Avalanche. Colorado's still doing okay. Take away Quinn Hughes from Minnesota. They're still doing okay because they still have Kirill Kaprizov, Matt Boldy, Brock Faber, and so on and so forth. You can't necessarily say that about the Blue Jackets. So that's just why Zach Werenski is that big and that important to the Blue Jackets. And it's also why it's that important that Zach Werenski won the Norris Trophy, because he is that important to the Blue Jackets, and he had a really good season that deserves that kind of trophy. And I like that it's hockey writers writing that are talking about this and voting on this because they get it compared to the stereotypical person that probably doesn't pay that much attention to hockey and probably wouldn't give it to Zach Werenski. But instead, we don't have to worry about that. We have people that actually pay attention to hockey and gave it to Zach Werenski and made the correct decision. Wine?
What happened?
Oh, it just echoed. It echoed. It wasn't him speaking. It was
okay.
your voice echoing for a second.
I mean, I did have a question for you guys regarding Zach Werenski, though.
Yeah.
Do you guys think with him winning the Norris Trophy, do you think that solidifies him as the greatest Blue Jacket of all time, or do you still think Rick Nash holds that title?
It's hard to argue against Rick Nash. It just is, because Rick Nash, he statistically he owns all the records for goals and assists and points and games played and so much more. And like Rick Nash is the original Mr. Blue Jacket. He is the guy to help put the Blue Jackets on the map. And Rick Nash won a Rocket Richard Award. Rick Nash, multiple All-Star appearances. Zach Werenski's done that as well. And Rick Nash did help put the Blue Jackets on the map. And you think Blue Jackets, you do think of Rick Nash, and he's that big and that important to the Blue Jackets. But Zach Werenski is definitely in the conversation for that. He's definitely, if it's not Rick Nash, it's him. But it's definitely like 1A, 1B sort of thing where Zach Werenski's gotten to the point to where you can make that comparison, because he's definitely in the comparison, and he's played here long enough that he's kind of like a Rick Nash-like figure in winning the Norris Trophy. And I mean, Zach Werenski has done something that Rick Nash couldn't do with the Blue Jackets. It's not exactly not entirely his fault, but Zach Werenski has made the playoffs 4 years in a row with the Blue Jackets, and Zach Werenski was a part of a team that won 16 games in a row, and Zach Werenski was a part of 2 teams that had 2 playoff series wins, knocking out Tampa Bay and Toronto. So, like, that does count for something. He's certainly in the conversation, but it's hard to, say it's not Rick Nash. But but he's there. It's a 1A, 1B.
I don't know. It's a good question, because it's a totally different era, and we're judging from a little bit different criteria. I think you bring up a good point about Rick Nash, but I only think that his name is more important to the Blue Jackets at this moment. Sorry, got distracted here for a quick second. So, different eras, different positions, different everything like that. I personally think that Werenski is overtaking him,
Yes.
but Rick Nash just came first. It's like looking back through time, like, oh, who do you think the best president of all time was? Like, there's a bunch of them to choose from. If we go way back, well, was it George Washington? Just because he was the first? I mean, he's the one who set the standard, did all this, you know. So it's like, is Rick Nash the best? Yes, statistically speaking, in you know games played, 674. Actually, the most is Boone Jenner, but games played 674. Zach Werenski is 642. I feel like once he surpasses Rick Nash, he's never going to surpass him in goals. So we just, that's just not ever going to happen. It could feasibly. It's probably never gonna. Oh wait, let's look at this though. Something Zach Werenski as a defenseman does have though is quite a lot more assists than Rick Nash.
Yeah.
And as a defenseman, is that more important? I mean, kind of. If you're playmaking, making plays as opposed to being an defensive kind of guy. Zach Werenski is second in all-time points. So yeah, it's like having two goaltenders that are like this exact same. It's like this guy plays this night, this guy plays this night. I think the fact that Werenski's a defenseman has to come into this conversation a little bit too.
Yeah.
Rick Nash, greatest Blue Jackets forward of all time. Although Panarin got more goals in a season at one point, he's the greatest forward of all time. Zach Werenski holds the title of greatest defenseman, Blue Jackets defenseman of all time.
Yep.
And so, is he to be looked at as better than Rick Nash? Not necessarily. Is he to be looked at as the best player that the Blue Jackets have ever had? Possibly. And here's something else to think about too. Rick Nash played 9 seasons for the Blue Jackets. Zach Werenski just played his 10th or his ninth full season. So he is going to be with them a little bit longer. I mean, Boone Jenner has 808 games with the Blue Jackets. He's up there in goals. He's up there in assists. He's up there in points. But there's a reason we're talking about Werenski right now and not Boone Jenner. It's because Werenski is good enough to be recognized by the league as the best defenseman in the NHL. It's the first time the Blue Jackets have ever had a player win the Norris Trophy.
Right.
So that in itself is special. That is incredibly special. That puts him in that conversation of best ever.
Anything to say, Wine?
Yeah, I was just really curious what your guys' opinion on that was. It seems like maybe in a few seasons, if he keeps producing at an elite level, you guys would have him over Rick Nash, perhaps.
Yeah.
About 2 more seasons if he can continue the production. Absolutely.
He's just a step below Rick Nash. It's just 1A, 1B. It's just hard to not say Rick Nash when he's Mr. Blue Jacket.
So some people argue against Rick Nash into the Hall of Fame because he didn't do as much with just one single team as he did with 2 teams or something like that. I don't remember exactly the argument, but I feel like it's a lot harder to argue against Zach Werenski into the Hall of Fame once he retires.
If we get there.
Yeah, I think that's why this debate is so interesting.
Because it's also a product of the time.
Yeah.
I'll have to come back to that sometime too.
Yeah, we'll have to.
That's a very good question.
But
I'll look up some more stats for that.
anyway, so shout out to Zach Werenski. Nicely done. You won the Norris Trophy. You absolutely deserve it. Awesome season for the Blue Jackets, and it's just great to see.
We have a
Comment from Alfred Bergenson 547. Did you see the breaking news? Larkin trade to CBJ in talks. Yes, the Dylan Larkin news, that is something. You have a guy who is a Michigan guy. Dylan Larkin is from Michigan, grew up in Michigan, grew up a big Red Wings fan, going to Red Wings games. He played his college hockey at Michigan, and he plays hockey for the Red Wings. He is a captain for the Red Wings, 10 years in Detroit. So, like, you can't get any better from that, from a marketing perspective, if you were Detroit, to market your team. Look, we have this guy, Dylan Larkin. He's a good player. He's from Michigan. He grew up a Red Wings fan. He grew up going to Red Wings games. He played his hockey in college at Michigan, and he's the captain for the Red Wings. He plays for the Red Wings. Come see him play. Like, that stuff matters. And then the news comes out that he doesn't want to play for the Red Wings anymore. An absolute kick to the balls to the Detroit and the Detroit Red Wings fans. Gut-wrenching. Kick to the balls. Heartbreaking. Big news. Now, of course, the Blue Jackets fans have had some fun with this because for years you have these cringe Detroit fans acting very stupid and idiotic with dumbass comments of get Zach Werenski to Detroit. He's from Michigan and he grew up a Red Wings fan and he played at Michigan. Get him to Detroit. Derp, 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 derp. And just so stupid and idiotic and cringe. It was just stupid. It was never real. It was never going to happen. It was never realistic. And yet you stupid idiots kept on with those stupid comments. But what do you know? Isn't it interesting how the tables have turned? Because now your guy, Dylan Larkin, doesn't want to play for Detroit, and now the Blue Jackets fans have been giving it right back to Detroit fans, and I love it. Just having some fun with it, going, uh-oh, Dylan Larkin doesn't want to play for Detroit. I guess Dylan Larkin to the Blue Jackets, right? Huh? Now, of course, realistically, that's probably not very realistic, but it's fun to have some fun with those comments and give it right back to the Detroit fans. Now, there is only one reason and one reason why, anyway, that this could make sense in any way, shape, or form. It is because Dylan Larkin is really good friends with Zach Werenski. Dylan Larkin grew up playing with Zach Werenski on different youth hockey teams in Michigan. Dylan Larkin played with Zach Werenski for college hockey at Michigan. Dylan Larkin also played at the Four Nations for USA Hockey with Zach Werenski. Dylan Larkin just played at the Olympics with Zach Werenski.
And won a gold medal.
With a gold medal and the Olympics for USA Hockey. So, like, that is the thing. So that's why people bring that up. That is a legitimate reason why it could happen. And for that reason only, is because of that. is because Dylan Larkin is very good friends with Zach Werenski, and there's that connection. So that is why people bring that up. So could it happen? Yes. Realistically, no. Why? Because it's come out today that from the Detroit media and other people in the hockey world are reporting this, that there's only 3 teams that Dylan Larkin wants to go to. Why does this matter? Well, Dylan Larkin has a no trade clause. So Detroit just can't trade him willy-nilly. They have to go through Dylan Larkin to say, hey, is this okay? Would you go here? Would you play here? And those 3 teams that have come out today in the media are the Florida Panthers, the Vegas Golden Knights, and Minnesota. That's it. So Detroit, they're going to have to play a little footsie with the Panthers and Vegas and Minnesota to try and get something done there. Now, from what I've been reading from different people in the media, and I've been hearing some stuff from the Detroit media, is a lot of people think that Minnesota is the most likely spot for this because why? Minnesota has Bill Guerin, their GM. Who's Bill Guerin? The GM of Minnesota. But he's also the guy that put together the USA hockey team that just won the gold medal in February. And they have Matt Boldy and Brock Faber, who were also on that USA gold medal winning hockey team. So Dylan Larkin is very familiar with those people. Also this, if you look at Minnesota the last couple of years, their center depth is god awful. They have Ryan Hartman as their number 1 center, playing with Kirill Kaprizov and Matt Zuccarello or Matt Boldy. Now, to Ryan Hartman's credit, he's played good there. He's gotten the job done. But it's a lot better if you didn't have Ryan Hartman as your number 1 center. Minnesota would be doing better if they didn't have to have Ryan Hartman as their number 1 center. Ryan Hartman's a good player, but he needs to be lower in the lineup. So that's another reason why people think it's probably going to be Minnesota, because Minnesota really needs better center depth, especially a number 1 center / number 2 center. They really need that. And Minnesota just this season just kind of had a really big ballsy trade to go get Quinn Hughes. And no one was thinking that Minnesota was going to go get Quinn Hughes. They were paying attention to other teams, but Minnesota just kind of swooped right in and got Quinn Hughes. So that's another reason why people think it's probably going to be Minnesota. So could it happen with the Blue Jackets? Yes. Because Zach Werenski's friends with Dylan Larkin. Very good friends. And there's other potential reasons why. But I'm going to tell you another reason why it's probably not going to happen. Because looking from Detroit's perspective, they're probably going to look at the Blue Jackets and say, okay, you want Dylan Larkin. Fair enough. We want Adam Fantilli. And right then and there, that's going to put a stop to it, because the Blue Jackets are going to immediately, tell them hell no, and then they're going to hang up the phone. And then that will be the end of that. So, no. Now, are there other ways that the Blue Jackets could get around that? Yes. But more likely than not, that's probably going to happen, because at minimum, Detroit's probably going to ask for Adam Fantilli. And at that point, I'm saying hell no. And the Blue Jackets would say hell no and then hang up the phone. So could it happen? Yes. More likely than not, no. So it's probably going to be Minnesota if I had to take a guess. But that's just me. So could it happen with the Blue Jackets? Yes. More likely than not, probably no. So I've kind of gone on a little rant here. So I'm going to stop talking for now. And I'm going to get Hefty Duck and Lion in here.
Yeah, so I'll keep mine a little shorter because I looked into this more. There's 3 teams on his radar right now. So he's got like a no trade clause, or he's requested 3 teams or something like that. So is he going to go to one of these 3 teams? I mean, if they can make something work. The thing is, the 3 teams are Minnesota Wild, the Florida Panthers, or fucking
Vegas.
Vegas. Right. So he's trying to go to what he thinks of as being a cup contender, obviously, or something like that. Thing is, Dylan Larkin, if the season started tomorrow and he was on the Blue Jackets, or I'm sorry, if he was on the Blue Jackets last season and it ended, he'd have been the second best player on the team. He would have had 7 more goals than Kirill Marchenko. You know, he had 67 points. He had exactly the same amount of points as Marchenko. And as far as a center goes, the next close center to him would have been Adam Fantilli with 59 points. So would he be a useful position on the Blue Jackets? Just to answer that question, yes, of course he would. He's an amazing player. Would the Blue Jackets probably have to give up something too important to them to get him? Yes. He's a really good player. So I do think that, those other 3 teams, I mean, if he's going to have to expand those 3 teams, almost definitely, because they're all good enough, like, to get how far they got this year. Now, I guess the Panthers could maybe use a little boost right now. So, like, that would make sense. And then whatever. That's the only one that really makes sense to me in that, is because they could trade something to not have to give up something too crazy. And I mean, Steve Yzerman's going to do something crazy here. He's got the Yzer plan, if you're familiar with that phrasing. So do I see this happening? No. That's all I got. No. Yes, I saw it. No, I don't think it's happening. Wyan, what do you think?
Yeah, I never saw the specific news of Dylan Larkin being in Columbus trade talks, but yeah, it would be a good fit, obviously, if something were to happen. But yeah, it's probably not realistic, and he does want to go to a cup contender, but you also have to think from Steve Yzerman's perspective. He's going to want to get something pretty good in return back for his number 1 center.
Yeah.
So I mean, and what do those 3 teams really have to offer? I mean, the Panthers have some young
Sergei
pieces.
Bobrovsky.
Yeah.
But
Like,
then
they have
there goes
that
their
pick,
chances.
but yeah, like, they have the number 9 pick this year, but like,
that's the thing too. It's like, man, like you're going to have to give up something for him, so he has to drastically improve your situation.
Right? Yeah, and Minnesota gave up a lot of assets for Quinn Hughes already, so
Exactly.
yeah.
They're locked in. They got enough guys.
And Vegas just has nothing as far as future goes. So I mean,
yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like this sort of trade for a guy like a Dylan Larkin. This is the sort of trade where it's like, if you get Dylan Larkin, Detroit is going to want something back where it's like, I want a player, a draft pick, a prospect sort of thing to go with that. And if Vegas, you don't really have that sort of thing because you don't for the most part, you trade your draft picks, you trade your prospects. So like you don't really fit into that. Your cap space, I looked at it, it's god awful. Dylan Larkin it's over 8 million. It's like, how the heck are you gonna fit that
like
in there?
around
It's
like
just
what
like,
Provorov
no.
makes, something like that.
It's just like, no. And I've seen this from some criticism of Vegas, which I understand is like they just kind of throw away players. Like if they don't like you anymore, they just throw you away. They're looking for the new, shiny toy. And that has pissed some players off. Like, if I go play for you, am I gonna get traded? Because there just comes a point in time where some players that, you know what, I just want to find a place that I can just, be there, sign a contract, and just play there for, a long period of time and not worry about, oh, is this team going to trade me? Like that does, to a certain extent, that does matter, and it's something to, consider. I would, in my opinion, if I had to pick of the three teams, I would say that Vegas has the least amount of chance for that to happen. Because, it's like, what are a guy, like I said, because a guy like a Dylan Larkin, generally speaking, those types of trades are like, you need to have like a good player plus a draft pick and like usually like one of your top prospects to go with that. And like, that's just something that Vegas doesn't really have.
Yeah, they've already gutted their entire future.
Yeah. I mean, it might have been worth it.
I would say it was worth it for them for sure. I mean,
for sure.
Look how many times they've been to the Cup final, and they could potentially win a second this year. I mean,
well, and is that what we're seeing with the Panthers now? I mean, they're literally just they sold the farm to get there, and now can they get back there without? Yeah,
I think they could, but yeah,
me too.
But then eventually it will be time to pay the bill for Vegas. Eventually, it's cool that you're doing all this stuff. You're having some success, and you got a Stanley Cup, and you're back in the Stanley Cup final. Maybe you get it, maybe you don't. But eventually, it will be time to pay the bill, and the bill will be that you're going to have to build yourself back up, because doing this thing where it's just like trades and free agency and not really a lot of drafting is eventually going to hurt you. It's not exactly a good strategy to keep doing, because eventually the bill will come and you will have to pay that bill. It's just going to have to, that's just how it is.
Yeah, but at the same time, I can respect the commitment to one direction. They're committed to winning now, whereas most, I feel like most teams in the league are kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And that doesn't really
too
usually
afraid
get
of
you
committing.
far. Yeah.
I get that. I think Vegas has experience doing the full commit from the get go, so I think that's why. That's the something weird happened when Vegas entered the league. It was different. It was just different than any other expansion team. It was different than when fucking Seattle came in.
Yeah, Seattle hasn't been anywhere close to what they've done.
Yeah, they moneyballed that shit so hard. That's what it felt like. And it's paid off.
Right.
I mean, Panthers, 1 for 1. Bobrovsky and Larkin, you taking it? You got John Gibson and Cam Talbot. Talbot's about the same age.
See, but the thing about them is I remember when the last 2 seasons when the Blue Jackets have played Detroit, this is something that the Blue Jackets have exposed Detroit, where they beat them. And it's a big reason why they beat Detroit is that the last 2 seasons when the Blue Jackets played Detroit's 5-on-5 play has been god awful. And it's when the Blue Jackets have been one of the better 5-on-5 teams the last 2 seasons, And the Blue Jackets have exposed the Red Wings and used that weakness to their advantage to where the Blue Jackets get goals 5-on-5, and it's a big reason why they beat them because Detroit has struggled 5-on-5. I even remember this season, the Blue Jackets have a game in Columbus. They're playing Detroit. It's on national TV and ESPN Plus, and John Butchergross, he's the announcer for that game. And he even talked about during the game, it's like, there's some things I like about Detroit this season, but they still haven't improved their 5-on-5 play. It's very weak. And in that game, what do you know? The Blue Jackets exposed the bad 5-on-5 play and got some goals off of that. And it's a reason why the Blue Jackets won that game. So, like, even if their goalies that they have isn't exactly the greatest, but even if you fix that, you still got to fix that 5-on-5 play, or you're still going to be in that same situation where your 5-on-5 play isn't very good, and then it brings you down, and then you lose games, like when you play the Blue Jackets, because you're not very good on 5-on-5, and the Blue Jackets use that 5-on-5 weakness against you.
Yeah, that's something I do think Stevie Y deserves criticism over is, the 5v5 play. And also the center depth is just awful, even when they did have Larkin.
Yeah.
So, like, now you're not going to have Larkin most likely. So how are you going to fix that now?
Right. Their center depth isn't very good to begin with. And then now you're in a spot where you're going to have to trade Dylan Larkin, and now you just made it worse. So you're right, Lions. Like, what are they going to do?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Then again, we don't like Detroit, so it doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah, I mean, as someone that has to see Detroit 4 times a year, yeah, let them be bad.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Yeah, of course, Ohio sports fan, not very fond of whole Michigan stuff, but, I get it. That's besides the point.
The Atlantic Division needs at least one bad team.
Well, it's not going to be Buffalo anymore because it was basically Buffalo.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Detroit.
Yeah. So, well, Ryan, I just kind of laughing at this, but you have right now a profile picture of Connor McDavid in a Bruins jersey.
Yeah.
I mean, that's mildly Blue Jackets related right now.
Because
we're talking about Larkin. Might as well talk about Babcock a little bit. Dang.
Yeah, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to go on a little rant and a little heater here, and then we'll get Hefty Duck and Wine in here. So, okay, so the Blue Jackets, they picked Mike Babcock to be the coach. And first off, they wanted to hire him in June of 2023, but he was under contract with Toronto at the time. But Toronto wouldn't let the Blue Jackets talk to him, so they had to wait till July of that year to officially talk to him, and then eventually they got him to the contract and all that sort of thing. Kind of a controversial hire, but I could see why they did it, because look, Mike Babcock, asshole, kind of a dick, but you know what? He's a good coach, and he has consistently good teams, and he won a Stanley Cup with Detroit, and there were some talent that got developed under him. So I could see why the Blue Jackets went in that direction. Now, in the end, it didn't work out because he was an idiot and, invading people's privacy and looking at people's phones and a whole bunch of other shenanigans. And I'm still and the way it went down is I'm still kind of upset at the Spin Chicklets people, because you knew that this was a thing in July of 2023, but yet you waited until 2 days before training camp to drop the news, in which essentially kind of screwed the Blue Jackets there. And Then you ripped on the Blue Jackets and made a big fuss about it, which I understand why. I'm not saying it wasn't deserved, but at the same time, it just the timing sucked. Like if you knew it was a thing, you should have come out with it right away. That would have given the Blue Jackets a lot more time to figure out someone else instead of saying, okay, Pascal Vincent, here you go. Go be the coach now, I guess. Now, why I'm talking about this is because it has come out today that the Oilers, the Edmonton Oilers, they fired their coach and they're looking for a new coach. Could be looking at Mike Babcock as their new coach. And in the event that happens, I expect to see the same amount of criticism and other shenanigans that the Blue Jackets had to go through because they made that decision. I want that same thing for the Oilers. I don't want like any other like double standard or anything else where it's like you rip on the Blue Jackets like crazy because of that. But if the Oilers or another team did it, it's like, it's okay, Mike Babcock. No. I want none of that. In the event, if this happens and the Oilers get Mike Babcock as their new coach, I want the same level of criticism that happened to the Blue Jackets to the Oilers. That's what I want to see. Not selective outrage, because I have seen that before, and I think that's stupid. So that's all I got to say about that, and we'll get Wine and Hefty Duck in here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised with Vegas's track record. They haven't already tried it. But yeah, very interesting development with Mike Babcock and the talks for Edmonton's coaching staff or whatever. It's just a very odd. I just didn't think I'd hear that name in relation to anything in the NHL anymore. I mean, that was he's kind of an older guy, like retire and just lay low. I guess I don't know. It seems wild to me. Like you just keep coming back for more. It's like that one meme, like, how many times we have to tell you, old man? The SpongeBob meme.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like, oh, okay, I guess whatever, man. Dude, just get a hobby. Yeah, I absolutely do think. I mean, people are already absolutely ripping everyone a new one for this. In the Oilers organization,
I've seen all that.
I think everyone shares a very similar sentiment to you with that. Like, where if like they go through with this, like they're getting ripped on forever. From here on out, they're just even just for considering it. Like people are definitely giving them a lot of grief. As deserved.
Yeah, really, it just reeks of desperation from the Oilers. Like,
yeah,
like we can tell they're desperately trying to keep McDavid.
Yeah, but it's like at the same time, these moves you're making are almost pushing him away even more.
Right.
And
that's like obviously
you already hired Stan Bowman, who was controversial to begin with. And, he hasn't exactly made the Oilers better, especially not this year. Like, sure, they went to the 2 finals before that, but it was largely Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl carrying them there, as opposed to good team building from Stan Bowman.
Yeah, see what happens when Connor McDavid's injured. He wasn't even injured enough to not play. He just was injured though.
It's a minor nitpick for me. Like I get Stuart Stinner isn't the greatest goalie, kind of average at best, but like when he's good, and like he is he a big reason why the Oilers went to the Stanley Cup final the last 2 seasons? No, but he does play a role in that. So what do? You trade the goalie that helped got you to the Stanley Cup Finals the last 2 seasons to Pittsburgh, and I'm like that. I think that's stupid. I don't get that.
Yeah, and for Tristan Jarry, who I don't think has even won a playoff series. in his career. I don't think.
It's just
It's mind-boggling.
like why are you trading the goalie that helped you get to the Stanley Cup final the last 2 seasons? That's not exactly helping you there. And it's, if I was Connor McDavid, I'd be like, dude, what the heck, man?
Yeah, and he was like that this offseason. During the end of season presser, he was like, "Yeah, the team took a step back."
Yeah.
He came out and said that. Or he agreed with Leon saying it. Whatever.
And I just thought that was kind of goofy, kind of crazy to a certain extent. That, like, again, that you traded the goalie that helped you get to the Stanley Cup final the last 2 seasons.
Yeah. The Oilers are just ran like a clown show right now, and the Mike Babcock thing is just more of the same, honestly.
Like, hey, or then like, hey, guys, our defense isn't the greatest and goalie, but hey, let's go get another guy that's not goalie or defense.
Yeah. It just seems like there's less and less shame every single year in the NHL.
Or, and another thing, you get these cringe Oiler fans. They're like, Evan Bouchard should have won the Norris Trophy, not Zach Werenski. And it's like, no. Are you kidding me? Because first off, he gets to play with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. So that makes a difference why he gets all the points and the goals and the assists and why he's a little bit better. Okay? Zach Werenski does not get to do that. Also, I've seen this video on Twitter pop up again and again and again and again of Evan Bouchard getting cooked on defense, where he gets cooked or he makes a dumb mistake defensively, and then the puck ends up in the back of the net. You don't really see that with Zach Werenski. You don't really see him get cooked. You really don't see him do a dumb mistake that leads to the puck being in the back of the net. Because, Zach Werenski is a defenseman and actually tries more consistently on defense. So, like, for these cringe Oiler fans, like, oh, Evan Bouchard should have won it. Like, no, he should not have. Zach Werenski should have won it. He was the right call to do it.
Yeah, and in some of those videos, you can literally see Evan Bouchard just give up on plays, like when he has to back check hard. Like, it's quite embarrassing.
My goodness. But anyways, on to the next thing. We're going to do a little Dante Fabbro report card. How'd he do this season? Now, for me personally, I'm giving him a 2 out of 10. It's a big downgrade because last year he was 10 out of 10. Why? Because Dante Fabbro last season gets picked off of waivers. And at that point, if you're picking a guy off of waivers, you're kind of hoping for the best. It's like, well, we need a guy to play for us. So we'll go get a guy on waivers, and you're kind of hoping for the best that it works out. But generally speaking, you get a guy on waivers and doesn't really work out that well. He plays some games for you. It's serviceable. It gets the job done. But you're not really expecting much. That didn't happen because the Blue Jackets get Dante Fabbro off of waivers last season, and he plays really good, especially on the top defensive pairing with Zach Werenski playing first-line minutes. Really good. Played so good that it was the best defensive pairing that the Blue Jackets had all last season. It was that good. And he played so good that Dante Fabbro earned himself a 4-year deal worth $4 million a season. Just that good. He was one of the best defensemen outside of Zach Werenski that the Blue Jackets had all last season. And so going into this season, at least for me personally, there is an expectation that you are going to get that Dante Fabbro. that Dante Fabbro is going to be that Dante Fabbro, that good. But generally speaking, he was not that Dante Fabbro. He played higher up in the lineup, and he was not good. And it just wasn't there. And then as soon as, Damon Severson started playing really good with Zach Werenski, and as soon as Ivan Provorov, kind of took a hold of those first line, second line minutes, and did play with Zach Werenski, there was no way that Dante Fabbro was going to get those. So he got bumped down to third line, fourth line minutes. Now, in those third and fourth line minutes, he did play good. He had some moments where he did play good, but it's not the Dante Fabbro that I saw last season that you got off of waivers and played really good and was your top defensive pairing with Zach Werenski. Right now, you're looking like, ooh, that contract of a 4-year deal, $4 million, that's not looking very good right now. Hopefully that changes, and next season you're like, okay, you know what? That looks like a good contract, like a bargain. Right now it's not. So we've seen him play good, but we need him to be better, in my opinion. So 2 out of 10 for Dante Fabbro.
Yeah, I'm gonna pretty much have to agree with you, and I don't want to sit here and just rip on a guy. He's obviously talented enough to have gotten picked up, played in the NHL for a long time. But then obviously there was also, the reason he was on waivers, and I think that maybe we're kind of starting to see that a little bit. So as with anyone, I mean, just prime example. Alex Nylander. You get traded or picked up from a new team, especially if you are a professional in the NHL and you're going down to waivers for the first time in either a long-ass time or the first time ever. If you're bouncing back and forth, you get the opportunity to play on an NHL team like Alexander Nylander did, and boom, you just sometimes you perform when you have to. You're performing for that contract. You're trying to get that money. You're trying to get that bag, and you find it in yourself to do better, to do big. And I think last year we've seen that with Fabbro. He got a new location, new scenery, new people around him, coaches, everything like that, and he stepped up and did a very good job. Because when he was up on waivers, our expectation was immediately okay, he's there to be a healthy scratch and fill in when need be. He is a kind of like third line D type, right? He wasn't expected to play a ton of minutes, but he did well. In fact, so let me go over a little bit of statistics this year real quick. So this season, Dante Fabbro, he's only 27 years old, puts him a year younger than Zach Werenski, and a year older than Isaac Lundestrom. Just to give you perspective, 74 games. In those 74 games, he got 5 goals, 6 assists for 11 points. He had the worst plus-minus on the team with a -16, 33 penalty minutes. All 5 of his goals were even strength. Once again, we talked about it just a few minutes ago. Blue Jackets were a very good 5-on-5 team this season. Very good. Now, he helped contribute a lot on the defensive side of things. He had the second most blocks on the team. He's a defensive defenseman. A 5 goals, 6 assists is fine. We're not asking for much more, especially from someone who is not on the top line, especially when you have guys like Zach Werenski and Damon Severson out there. But sorry, this goes to show, as soon as I start having to talk, man, I just have to yawn. It's bullshit. It's pissing me off. Anyway, so he did very well with the blocks. He was a pretty heavy hitter. Didn't shy away from it. Didn't have the most. Had not too many takeaways, not too many giveaways. Pretty middle of the pack for all that kind of stuff. But I don't think he had the same kind of impact. His minutes were way down. Also, we talk about like everyone likes to talk about plus minus being kind of a dumb stat. Like Dylan Larkin, they say has like a really bad way.
It matters though.
It really does, especially when you're talking about defensemen, because if all those goals are getting in, if more goals are getting in than scored when you're defenseman, you are not defending well enough. It's simple. It's just a simple stat. Like I mean, it's kind of almost like a save percentage for a goaltender. It's like, here's how many you let past you. Here's how many, you got in, or your team got in while you were out there. So are you helping to elevate your team? Are you taking an individual kind of route with it? Then you have Mason Marchment, who has plus 21. It's one of the best plus minuses on the team. Kirill Marchenko famously was like the top plus minus for like a large part of the early season. This year, last year.
Last year he was a plus 28, ridiculously good.
Yeah. And you just don't see it with many, if any, of the other defensemen. The next person with the next worst plus minus was Adam Fantilli, and we've talked about that already. And the defense that line needs to kind of step up and do more of. But yeah, overall, I can't say that I can give him a failing grade.
No.
Like, I don't think that Fabbro deserves. So I like the letter grade. So A, B, C, D, and F with pluses and minuses. I'm going to give him a like C minus, which is like, you participated. You sure did. You definitely were one of the players for this year. Do I think that he played up to his $4.13 million contract? No. But that's defenseman for you. They're going to make a little bit more. I mean, after him, we have Christensen with $975 and Matejchuk with $887. I swear, I'm not even tired at all. And I don't have to yawn when I turn my camera off. It's just when it's on. It's so annoying.
His bingo card.
Yeah. And yeah, 27 years old. He's still young. There's anyone can improve any season. It's the NHL. Anyone can be good at any time. Can get hot anytime. But C minus. In order for Dante Fabbro to get an A+ from me for next year, he's going to have to get 10 and 10 goals, 10 assists. He's going to have to bring that plus minus down to at least 0, at least even. The blocks need to stay the same, 120 blocks. It's great. Hits are fine. That stuff's mostly fine. But stay out the box. If you're not going to be helping put goals in, you have to stay out of the box, because if you're not at least making up for it. And maybe that's part of where that plus minus comes in. Do you get a minus if you're in the box for when the other team scores a goal against your team during a penalty?
I don't
think so. But
no, I just think it's when you're on the ice.
I feel like if you're in the box, you should get one because it's kind of your fault. But anyway, so those are my couple little bits of how I would give him, what would it take for me to give Fabbro an A+ for next season. You just got to step it up, dog.
Yeah. Anything to say, Wyan, or no?
Yeah, I definitely remember last season when Dante Fabbro was going off with Zach Werenski. I was like, oh my God, they picked this guy up on waivers.
Yep.
But yeah, then this year it wasn't the same. Also, shout out to our boy Beezer / Mitch Cost Kitten in the comments and saying he's EP.
There it is right there. He's EP. Artsy. Heartsy saying that Hefty Duck is EP.
Yeah.
I'm not, but it's whatever. I'm not gonna get mad.
So
Yeah, in regards to Dante Fabbro, like, yeah, I mean, I remember guys wanted to sign this guy in the offseason because of how he played last year.
right.
Like, I think Bruins and Panthers fans both wanted him, from what I remember. But
Yep.
Right, he's only 27. That
yeah,
could have
he's
been a
only
breakout
27.
year.
Yeah, he was playing top pair minutes and doing pretty well.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I think Lance definitely nailed it on the head with the change of scenery. Definitely helped. The contract year also motivated him more. You see it all the time in the NHL. Guys that are due for a contract will typically have that career high season, and then usually they don't repeat that season, at least in general
Yeah.
speaking.
Yeah.
It's that contract season. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I guess that's might have been what happened with Fabro. Like, obviously, like you said, he still has a chance to bounce back next year.
Yeah, it's in the end of the road, but yeah.
Yeah, you hope he bounces back next year. Otherwise, yeah, the contract probably isn't great. But you know,
Yeah.
I guess it's the risk you take.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, all right. Now, on to the next thing I'd like to talk about is I'll put this up on the screen. So, if you know about the Blue Jackets, you know that they have a third jersey that is has the cannon on it, and it's dark blue and light blue. That's the main colors, and it's got the cannon on it with the star and Columbus Blue Jackets. But I saw something recently on Twitter that, from my perspective, basically explains why the Blue Jackets have this as a third jersey, which is this. And I'll put this up on the screen. From Bobcat110 on Twitter, he says that he was in a season ticket holder focus group for the Blue Jackets third jerseys released in 2010. The focus group had three consensus requests. 1, no red anywhere on the jersey. 2, blue as the primary color. 3, cannon logo on the chest. And so, when you put those three things together, no red on the jersey, blue as your main color, and cannon logo, it makes sense why the Blue Jackets have the third jersey that they do, which is a dark blue jersey with light blue on it. You got a little silver, a little vintage cream, but the two main colors are dark blue and light blue, and you have a cannon on it. So when I saw that, I thought that was interesting, and I had to share this on the show.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, we can talk about part of it, and we can talk about this now, actually. We got to participate in kind of like a focus group activity one time. We just were asked what we thought about something for the Blue Jackets, and what we ended up being asked about and didn't particularly like ended up flopping. And it is what it is. I won't say exactly what. I don't think that it matters now at all. But what I like about all of this is that the Columbus Blue Jackets go directly to the fans. They're not going to some company like, hey, company, can you come up with a viral thing? Hey, company, can we outsource this third party thing to you to tell us what you think that our fans would like? No, they go to the fans and they ask the fans what the fans would like. They go to people who follow the Blue Jackets closely, who have opinions, who talk about those opinions online. They go ask them their opinion.
Yeah.
On stuff. And honestly, I think in this one, it shows it's a fan favorite for a reason, because just like at Bobcat 110 here, Joel 110, just like what he's saying, that makes sense, because those are three things that I can immediately agree with. No red anywhere on the jersey. Just I don't mind the home one. I don't mind with the red, white, and blue, the Ohio flag colors. Don't mind it at all. But the fact of the matter is, if just for the Union soldiers didn't have, I think there might be like a little bit of red, depending on what ranking you were or what unit you were in. Like if you're cavalry or whatever, there might be like some spot of red somewhere on you, but it was
Blue.
not that. Red to me, you're always immediately. I mean, if it was the Blue Jackets, not the red coats.
Yeah,
Which two totally way different wars, but that's what I think of. Anyway, so yeah, it goes to show, and I like this jersey a lot. I think that it will forever, even if somehow it changes someday, it will forever be one of the greatest jerseys of all time, in my opinion.
yeah. Wyan, do you have anything to say about this?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like these jerseys. I think it would be cool if they were definitely like, it'd be cool if they were permanent, like jersey options for the team, you know, like permanent thorns or whatever.
Yeah. And they have been, because the Blue Jackets of this upcoming season will be the 16th season. Well, actually, no, I take that back, because they did not have third jerseys for 2017, 2018, because Adidas took it over. So no teams had a third jersey that year. But that was the only time that the Blue Jackets since 2010 have not worn a third jersey. But other than that, they've always had this third jersey, and they have really not made big changes to it. The only changes that you see are just like minor changes for like what Reebok did with the jerseys, and now what Adidas / Fanatics did to the jerseys. And realistically, you see it here. The collar is light blue, but it's not very prominent. It's a not very light blue collar. Now, if you compare that to what essentially Adidas did to the jersey, they took that collar and made it very light blue. The light blue on the collar is very, very prominent. You see it. It's one of the first things you see on the jersey. It stands out. But other than that, there really is no big changes. So generally speaking, the Blue Jackets in the what will be 16 years of existence this upcoming season, they haven't really made changes to it, because this particular jersey has been that popular by Blue Jackets fans. Blue Jackets fans love this jersey, including me, and I have multiples of these jerseys. You know, I have this in a Reebok, I have this in a Adidas, and I have this third jersey in an Adam Fantilli. Like, yes, I really like this jersey. I have this jersey with Union Blue Soldiers on it, so like I really like this jersey. And then when you go to a Blue Jackets game, a good chunk of the crowd is wearing that jersey. People really love the Blue Jackets Cannon third jersey. And when people rank Blue Jackets jerseys, people who are not even Blue Jackets fans, 10 times out of 10 will always pick, well, I shouldn't say 10 times out of 10. It's 9 times out of 10, because with the outdoor game jersey. But generally speaking, when people rank hockey jerseys, generally speaking, this is the jersey that they pick as their favorite Blue Jackets jersey, because they like the colors and they like the cannon, which fits perfectly with the Blue Jackets Civil War theme. Now, obviously, with the Blue Jackets outdoor game jersey, which is a blue, red, white with the little silver and a different cannon logo, people also pick that one as their favorite. So now if you ask what's your favorite Blue Jackets jersey, even people who don't pay attention to the Blue Jackets will say that it's either outdoor game jersey or Cannon third jersey. It's just that popular. It's just that good. Like every team has that jersey that even people who don't pay attention to that team that say, "Oh, that's my favorite jersey. That's a real good jersey." And for the Blue Jackets, that jersey is their Cannon jerseys, whether that be the outdoor game jersey or the third jersey one. It's just, that good. And honestly, I just don't see the Blue Jackets ever getting rid of that. I just don't, because it's just that good and that loved by Blue Jackets fans and non-Blue Jackets fans alike.
Yeah, this one will be etched into the Columbus Blue Jackets Hall of Fame for sure.
Right.
Definitely.
It's just
A
that
big
good.
favorite.
It is. Next up. So I saw this comment on Reddit, and it just describes Columbus perfectly. And I was like, you know what? I have to share this on the show. So from DEBOTH Zombie on Reddit, said it's a fantastic place, talking about Columbus, which Columbus is a fantastic place. When you can get people to stop fellatiating themselves over OSU football, atmosphere and hockey and soccer games are amazing, which in this case, this person is talking about hockey as in the Blue Jackets and soccer as in the Crew, which is true. Blue Jackets games and Crew games are awesome. And yes, Ohio State does have something to do with Columbus, and it does. Ohio State, just like the Blue Jackets and the Crew and everyone else, plays their role into helping make Columbus awesome. But it's a lot better when you get people to just stop, over obsessing ridiculously over Ohio State, which people can do. And I understand Ohio State is loved in Ohio and Columbus. I get that. But sometimes, even people who like Ohio State can see that, okay, you know what? This is a bit much. We're taking it just a bit too far. That, if we can just settle down with that and focus on other stuff that's going on in Columbus, you realize just how even better Columbus is when you're not just focusing on Ohio State, and you have the Blue Jackets and the Crew and the Clippers, and you have Short North and North Market and German Village. You got our bar and all these restaurants and bars in the downtown arena district, and you got the COSI Science Museum and a whole bunch of other stuff that's going on in Columbus that does not involve Ohio State.
Yeah, and it's actually kind of funny. You talk to some Ohio State grads, and there are quite a few people there that actually don't care about football or sports at all.
Yeah.
That's one of our biggest draws there. It's one of my biggest draws there is the Columbus Blue Jackets, but it's a city that I've loved to go to for years, even before I really even knew much about hockey or knew much about the Blue Jackets themselves. And so, yeah, this is a very good point. It's like, it's like yeah, I don't know, you have someone in like a nice proper suit telling you the beautiful parts of the city, like check out the Franklin County Observatory and the conservatory, the gardens, the botanical gardens here and there, the wonderful food options everywhere, breweries, tons of great things, and then you have like just some loudmouth in the corner being like, "OH!" Like, dude, I understand. I will yell IO, but give me a minute to appreciate everything else first.
Yes.
You know, it's like, listen, this is not a time or place. Sometimes it's just not.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a fan too, but holy shit, if you can just like the most rabid fans are like, whatever. I'm gonna start like being kind of mean about things, so I don't want to do that. But I'm personally gonna move on from this because he's not wrong.
It's true. It's true. Very true. And you know, I do have a brick at the shoe at Ohio State's football stadium. It's by gate 38 on the south side of the stadium. And if you watch this show, you do see that there are two flags in the background behind me. Blue Jackets, and yes, there's an Ohio State flag right here. So I have been an Ohio State guy for basically a good chunk of my life besides the Blue Jackets. So this is not just me just taking a huge poop on Ohio State just because. Like, this is constructive criticism. Constructive criticism. That's where it is. But anyways, that's that. You know, I want to show why in this. I want to show the why in this because Hefty Duck and I have talked about this. So wine, there's this website called True Color, and basically it tells, if you want to know what kind of colors your favorite team uses, it gives you the exact color with the exact like code that you can use for like paint and like, you know, designing stuff for like graphics and stuff like that.
Oh, that's interesting.
And so, since you're here, I want to show, and we'll show the Blue Jackets too, but I want to show you like what are the exact colors that the Bruins use. So before I show that, if you had to take a guess, like, what kind of, do you think that some sort of specific black or yellow that they would use?
I mean, I'm not very good with specific colors like that, but I mean, black and gold is what they market themselves as. So,
Yeah. Well, here, I'll tell you. So, and I'll put this up on the screen. So this is from True Color. So black and gold, but it's not just any black or any gold. They tell you that the specific kind of black and gold that the Bruins use, and
Just compare that to the Steelers.
oh, you know, we can do that.
Pittsburgh sports.
I'm
we
pretty sure
could
the
do
Penguins
that.
have a slightly more piss color yellow.
Yes. So like here it is. These are the specific kind of black and yellow that the Bruins use. So you know what? Good idea. So let's see what colors does Pittsburgh use? Let's see here. So let's see here. It's different. The yellow is different.
Yeah.
It's like a darker shade of yellow.
FFB81C. What's the other one?
We'll go up. We'll look. It's a darker shade.
FFB81.
Yeah, it's a dark. So this is a lighter shade of yellow compared to Pittsburgh.
Very tiny bit, yeah.
So there you go.
Just depends how much you had to drink the night before.
Yeah.
And so they did steal our
Sorry,
colors.
So there you go. Pittsburgh uses a slightly different shade of yellow.
That's interesting. I actually do have to go here pretty soon, though.
All right, fair enough, Wyatt. Fair enough. So, well, this is the Blue Jacket. So their blue is Union blue, and it tells you what kind of blue they use. It's a darker shade of blue. The red is like a darker shade of red. Silver, darker shade of silver. And then if we go, it tells, okay, what about their third jersey? Like what? And then there's the light blue is actually a darker shade of light blue compared to what you think it is. A normal dark shade of blue. The silver is this silver is a darker shade of blue, darker shade of silver compared to the normal silver, the cream. But there you go. There's the blue, the lighter shade of blue. So there's that. Before you get out of here, I do want to have you react to a goal here. This is Ohio State played Wisconsin in hockey this season at Wisconsin. And, if Steve Dangle, big hockey guy, he has a little videos that he does where he calls it dang it, where a player makes a really dumb mistake that, leads to something bad happening. And in this case, I would say this is a dang it because we have a Ohio State player doing a dang it, passing the puck right to an Ohio State player passing the puck right to a Wisconsin player, and then the Wisconsin player goes on a breakaway and shoots and scores. So we're going to put that up on the screen, and we're going to play the goal, and then I want to have you react to that. So there we go. So here we go. There we go. Here we go. Ohio State player has the puck, and I'm going to pass it to Wisconsin. And Wisconsin's going to shoot and score. So that was bad. So we'll play it one more time, and then we'll get your thoughts, Wine. So here we go. Here we go. Okay. It was just really bad. And there you go. Really bad. So, Wyatt, your thoughts on this dang it?
Definitely a dang it. I mean, that's pretty bad. You would have been better off icing it, brother.
Don't. Oh my goodness, that's just really bad.
Yeah. Before I go, I want to bring one thing to your guys' attention that I'm seeing on Twitter right now.
Yes.
Apparently, Bob Stauffer on Oilers now says, assuming there's no complications carrying forward with the NHL, Mike Babcock will be the next coach of the Edmonton Oilers. It's inevitable.
Whoa, my goodness! Wow.
Yeah, that's that's quite the choice.
Well,
Why?
well, I guess.
There's no one better out there. There's no one younger. There's no one.
I know someone better. He's just not allowed to interview right now.
Well, that's true. Very true.
Yeah, he's leading Vegas to their. Not gonna say like seriously though, if they win, do you think Torts goes back? Sorry, different conversation.
But
goes back where? To Vegas? Or something. Yeah, I think they'd probably bring him back. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here though. So
all right, fair enough. Thanks for coming.
Ryan. Thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
That's right.
We'll see you again soon, man.
So, Hefty Duck, I want to get your thoughts on this dang it right here.
Yeah, that's just. I'm gonna try to be like as nice about this as possible because that just reminds me of a certain player that doesn't do it near as much or as bad anymore.
Yes,
for the Blue Jackets, but yeah, that's Lyon said it is better off icing it. You're better off a face off. You're better off a face off than to just give it to him. That's rough, man. Feel for him.
Yeah. And the thing is, what even makes this worse is, you look at the scoreboard. Our third period, you're down 2 goals. Within reason, a little under 5 minutes to go. Within reason, you still could come back from this. Right, then you had your little brain fart moment there, and now it's 4-1, and you basically have no chance of coming back at this point. Because realistically, you're probably not scoring 3 goals in under 5 minutes to tie it. It's just not. So just one bad mistake essentially kind of, screwed you there.
Yeah.
It just bad. Really bad. It is just not good. Just not good. One last time. We're going to play this. Dang it. It's just bad. And like you can see it right there. He's kind of skin hustling and he's like, oh crap. Like he knew it. He knew he made a bad mistake. And we're going to hang the goalie out to dry there. Okay. Nice going, everyone. Jeez. My goodness. That is just really bad. Continue on. I saw this goal that Minnesota scored against Michigan, and I wanted to play it because I think it's a good goal. So we're going to play it. There we go. All right. So what I like about this is 20 and red for Minnesota is going to make it look like he's going to shoot it. And at the last moment, he's going to pass it over to this guy right here, and then the goalie has no chance because he one times it wide open. This is what you want. You want right-handed shot on the left side of the ice, and it's just, ooh, boom, no chance. No chance. Just a great play by Minnesota here. So we'll let this play, and you'll see it on the replay just how I like this. So there we go. Oh my, 18 in Minnesota. Real hyped that he scored a goal there. Nice pass up. And then 20 gets it to 18 and no chance. Just makes it look like you're going to shoot it and backhand pass at last moment and no chance.
I seen that one number 20's last name is Middlestat.
Yes.
Casey Middlestat's little bro?
I'm going to say yes.
Casey? I think it is.
I'm going to say yes, but boom. So overall, pretty good goal there. So anything to say here, Hefty Duck?
I do not.
Okay, then. So last couple things here. Let's see here. So, continuing with the Big Ten theme, I just wanted to share this. This is impressive. One Big Ten school has 7 gold medalists for hockey this season. And that's Minnesota. They had 7 gold medalists for hockey. 2 of them were the men. So Jackson Lacombe for the Anaheim Ducks, Brock Faber for the Minnesota Wild, and then you had 5 other women's players. So, Minnesota, that's pretty cool that you could say that, hey, we have 7 hockey players that won the gold medal. And at least from like a recruiting standpoint, that's something that Minnesota, like if they're trying, they're trying to get someone to come play hockey at Minnesota, be like, hey, yeah, come to Minnesota. Not only are you going to play for a good hockey school that's consistently good and historically has won national championships and made it the NCAA tournament in the Frozen Four, and has won the Big Ten. We have Hobie Bakers, which is the college hockey award for best hockey player, kind of like the Heisman Trophy is for college football. But they can say, hey, come to Minnesota and you could win a gold medal. That has to be really good for recruiting to help them, stand out compared to other schools. So I thought that was interesting. Had to share that there is a Big Ten school that has, in one season, has 7 players that have won a gold medal for USA Hockey. Truly impressive.
That's pretty cool.
Not even Michigan could do that. Like, that was kind of surprising because they're always good at hockey too. Or Wisconsin.
Ohio State had one. Didn't Mason Lori play for Team USA?
No.
Didn't he? Oh.
I don't think he did. No. Ohio State had women's hockey play for the women's hockey for different women's.
And there was like 9 of them or something like that. It was like an insane amount.
Yeah, like the women's team for Ohio State hockey had it was like America and like Canada and like Sweden and a whole bunch of other stuff. Just like ridiculously good there. Just not the men. So there's that. I want to share it because the news came out that Zach Werenski won the Norris Trophy. I saw this on Twitter. It was a picture of a Blue Jackets fan at warm-ups before a Blue Jackets game that held up a sign for Zach Werenski to try and get his stick, and Zach Werenski gave the stick to Zach Werenski, and I thought that was cool.
That's pretty awesome.
So
I like that too. The real Great 8. That's pretty funny. Where's the glass? It looks like there's no glass.
I could see why you say that, but there had to be.
There's got to be. I know, but I guess it's it's before the game starts, so it's not quite as gunked up yet.
Oh, for sure. All right, now, okay. Every Duck, I want you to just talk for a little bit, say some stuff, because I got to go pee, and then I'm going to be back.
All right, cool beans. Well, this is kind of getting close to, the point where I'm going to have to go here before long. I do have some things coming up here at about 9 o'clock. So, yeah, what a week it's been in the NHL. I'll just talk a little bit about the Stanley Cup playoffs. And, where everything's at. The Vegas Golden Knights are up 2-1, 2 games to 1. And it's going to be back in Vegas tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And this has been in my opinion, this has been a very good matchup because both these teams know how to take over a game. Both these teams very talented, making disruptions. I think that they both have kind of met their match in a way. I truly think that the Canes can still come around and pull this off. Very likely. But then sorry, I'm slightly distracted. The Golden Knights, man, they are a wagon right now. Playoff Mitch Marner is something else. He got a hat trick in the quickest time, I think, almost ever. That's like 6.5 minutes. You got a hat trick the other day. So, overall, I understand the sentiments out there, and I understand the sentiments against the Vegas Golden Knights too. I said this last week. I got a little bit of soft spot in my heart for Torts, but I honestly feel like of all the coaches in the NHL, I feel like Rob Brind'Amour deserves a cup. I mean, He went from player to coach, and absolutely just hit the nail on the head with exactly what the Carolina Hurricanes needed, wanted, and everything they could dream of. So that's once again Vegas leads 2-1 in the Stanley Cup Finals. I mean, we talked about the NBA Finals a little bit. Might as well talk about the NHL one as well. So yeah, next game won't be deciding the the winner, but it could very much sway things a certain direction.
Right. So, now now that I've talked about this on the show before, but I want to talk about it again. Ohio State, like, I need your red hockey jersey. It's too much red. You need to be like the football team and get some gray sleeves and break up some of that red. Because when you have gray sleeves like the football team has, it looks way better. The gray helps break up some of that red. But right now, it's too much red for my liking. It's just too much red. Too much. I would like to see a little gray sleeves on the jersey to help break up some of this red. Because you do that and you're going to have a real good red jersey there, Ohio State. But for now, in my opinion, it's too much red. Too much red.
Yeah, it just needs broken up a little bit for sure. Even if they did like silver shorts, like that'd be kind of cool. Doesn't the football team has silver pants, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Gray.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. There's the purists out there that are like, it's gray. Okay. Scarlet and gray.
It's
not red.
It's red, but
it's
okay,
red.
Whatever.
It's very
whatever.
red. I mean, yeah.
So come on, Ohio State, do the right thing and get some gray sleeves on the hockey jersey, just like you did with the football team. It'll look better. Now, I do want to share this before Hefty Duck gets out of here. So, because Hefty Duck, he's a tattoo artist, a designer, and I often ask him design questions and what he thinks about them, and then he'll say, well, I like this and like this, I like this and that, but I don't like this, but I like how. When I saw it kind of made me think of Hefty Duck. So we all know that this was the logo for the Blue Jackets outdoor game. And here we have on Twitter at Sean McCarthy Guy on Twitter, who posted that he said, thanks to @FanBrands, I had the pleasure of being a small part of the creative team behind the event logo for the Stadium Series game between the Blue Jackets and the Red Wings. Thank you for letting this Columbus kid chip in on the design process. So how cool is this? Is that the logo for the Blue Jackets outdoor game, in part, was designed by someone from Columbus. So that's cool. So not only did you have the logo, but look, like there it is. It's on advertisements. It's out and about. There it is on like a cup from the game for like a drink. And, obviously from the game, it's advertised there as well. So I just thought that was cool that someone from Columbus helped design the outdoor game logo that the Blue Jackets have.
That is pretty cool, because especially once you start getting into corporations and stuff that are like as big as like an NHL team is, they're going to outsource a lot of their work. And what I said this earlier too about the Columbus Blue Jackets, like looking towards their surroundings, asking the fans about their surroundings, looking when they did victory posters, the one year they found my art and asked me to do one because I'm local here to Ohio, and every single artist was in some way, shape, or form local to Ohio or had to do with that. So pretty awesome here. I like this all together. I don't have any design complaints about this. My only complaint about all of it is something that he could not help, and that is the Navy Federal Credit Union logo. He had to include that. I guarantee. They're like, you can't not put this in there. And the logo just doesn't quite vibe with the curve of it. But it's the shoe. You see like how it makes the shoe is the big U there.
Yeah.
It's perfect. I like this a lot. I like his design stuff quite a lot too. So yeah, overall pretty solid. I like this a lot.
And that has to be a cool feeling where it's like you helped design a logo for an outdoor game, and now then it's everywhere. Like leading up to that event, you were at the Blue Jacket store, and you could get stuff with this logo on it, a shirt. I like. There's pucks, and I have a puck with this logo on it, and really cool. And then like this logo was all over Columbus advertising for the outdoor game. And then like the day of the Blue Jackets outdoor game, you saw this logo everywhere. So like, in my opinion, if I was Sean McCarthy, who designed this, if I was him, I think that would be like a cool feeling seeing that logo, all over at the Blue Jackets store, where you could buy that logo with like a shirt or a puck, or like the day of the Blue Jackets outdoor game. That had to be a cool feeling, like seeing that logo all over the game being advertised. Like, hey, like I helped design that.
I mean, I designed the latest T-shirt for the shop I work at Shatterproof Tattoo. I designed the last one, and it's just neat to like have people buying that and people liking the design, let alone like So it's that's on a very small scale compared to this. So it's definitely cool seeing your work out in the real world.
And the one thing I would like to say, one of the last couple of things to say before Hefty Duck gets out of here, because there's some stuff that I'm gonna share before I end the show, but Hefty Duck can't be here for that. So I want to say this is that when Hefty Duck has said on this show today that the Blue Jackets are I'm paraphrasing it, but basically it's like he likes that how when the Blue Jackets are looking for something, whether that be like that focus group that we were in or like a jersey or something, that they're looking to their fans for ideas. Okay, what do you want? What do you like? What do you want in a jersey? What do you want in this and that? What don't you want? What don't you like? What do you want? What do you like? And I can say that I like that about the Blue Jackets as well. But from a personal experience working with the Blue Jackets, I can say that that's absolutely true, that I like that experience that I had with them. And it was just cool to be in that focus group, because like you got to saw some stuff that other people either A, will never see, or B, people will see that, but it's going to be not for a bit. It will be a little bit until that gets revealed to the public, where different, marketing ideas that they had and different slogans and different stuff. And hey, what are your thoughts on this? Or what are your thoughts on that? Do you like this? Do you not like this? Share your thoughts. And it was really cool to be a part of that experience, because people would jump in and say, well, I don't like this, I don't like that, but I like this, I like that. And, I like that. I don't like that the Blue Jackets did this, but I like that the Blue Jackets did that, and share your thoughts on this and that. And I did that, as well. And Hefty Duck did, and all the other people that were in that focus group did as well. And it was a lot of fun, just to share your thoughts on different things. And the Blue Jackets use some of that feedback to some of the stuff that they're marketing, a whole bunch of other stuff that they revealed. Like, I can remember when I was in that focus group, you see some of the stuff that you saw, and then being at a Blue Jackets game and they're promoting that stuff on like the scoreboard at a Blue Jackets game. It was like, hey man, that's cool. I remember seeing that, in the focus group. That's cool. Like, hey, I saw that, and that was cool. And then, seeing a whole bunch of other stuff, and it was just really cool. It just was. And then, working with the Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets have done 3 of the Union Blue Soldiers marches with me, and you get just a whole fun experience of what it's like working with the hockey team and what you're thinking. Okay, we want to do this with you. We don't want to do this with you, but tell us your thoughts. Do you like this? Do you not like this? And how do you want to do this? And it's like you go a good back and forth and you work something out, and eventually all that stuff that you worked on, it all comes together, and then it comes out to the public, and then you can say, hey man, that's cool. Like, hey, I knew that was the thing, or we worked on this and that. And overall it was just cool. And I just like that, that the Blue Jackets have stuff like that where they look to their fans to look for ideas on what to do in regards to certain things. And then sometimes they take that feedback and put it into practice, and the stuff that you see in regards to marketing and a whole bunch of other stuff, they use that. And I think that's cool.
I mean, it's been good podcast tonight. I have to get up out of here. Thanks very much for having me. Well, I guess it's me having me too, but yeah. Have a good rest of the show, man.
Absolutely.
I'll see you soon, man.
Hit the button. Hit the right button. Don't screw this up. Hit the right button. You better hit the right button. Hit the right button. Okay, good. Hefty Duck hit the right button. Because one time we did a show and Hefty Duck hit the wrong button, which stops the show. And then that's the end of that. And I didn't want that. I wanted to keep going, but Hefty Duck hit the wrong button and ended the show. But this time, Hefty Duck did the right thing by hitting the right button. He did not hit the wrong button. He hit the right button. So, I have a last couple things I'd like to say here, and then I'm going to get out of here. So, consider this like a closing time. Just like the song Closing Time. Closing time. That. Anyways. First things first. I would like to check the bookmarks here and see what do I have to share here. Let's see here. We'll start off with this. So, what if the Blue Jackets just decided one day they're not going to play in Columbus anymore? They're just going to go somewhere else. What would your thoughts be on that? I would assume that most of you would not be very fond of that idea, and you would probably hate it, and you would probably think that that is stupid and idiotic. I would be one of those people. But that's exactly, it's kind of similar, but, thankfully we don't have to worry about the Blue Jackets doing that because they're Columbus, and they're the Columbus Blue Jackets. They love Columbus, and they're staying in Columbus. But of course, one of the big news in the sports world recently is that the Chicago Bears will not be the Chicago Bears because they'll still be the Chicago Bears, but they will not be playing in Chicago. They will be going to Indiana, Hammond, Indiana, to be exact. And this has pissed off a lot of people. Bears fans are not very happy about that, and I can understand why, because I live in Illinois. I grew up in Illinois in the suburbs of Chicago. So yes, the Bengals are my favorite team, but the Bears have a little special place in my heart because 99% of my family likes the Bears, and I can, I do have some fond memories, over the years of you turn on, because I live in the Chicago area, you turn on the TV and you're like, I wonder what the Bears are doing today. And you watch a little bit about the Bears and like, oh, they're playing a good game. They're winning. Oh, that's cool. Or they're not playing a good, they're not playing a good game and they're getting smoked. the Bears are a very important part of Illinois/Chicago, a very important part of the culture in Chicago/Illinois. They really mean that much. They're really that important. Just like how the Blue Jackets are very important to Columbus and Ohio and loved by many people, it's the same thing with the Bears in Chicago and in Illinois. And for the Bears to do this move where they will not be playing in Chicago, they will be going to Indiana, has upset many people, including myself. Now, I understand why they did it. From a business perspective, it is cheaper for them to not be in Chicago or Illinois. It would be cheaper for the Bears to go into Indiana. That's just how it is. Because, taxes and a whole bunch of other stuff. It is the fault of three organizations that why this is happening. You have the fault of the state government of Illinois, you have the fault of the city of Chicago, and the Bears themselves. They kind of like oil and water and have not been able to work together to find a way to keep the Bears in Illinois. That's the truth. And the Bears going to Indiana has upset a lot of people, including myself, because you're the Chicago Bears. You need to be in Chicago, or at minimum, if you can't be Chicago area, somewhere in Illinois, because you are the big football team in Chicago, in the state of Illinois. The Bears have a song that they play when they score, where they say, "Bear down, Chicago Bears." And in that song, they also say, "You're the heart and soul of Illinois." Really putting home the whole Chicago, Illinois theme. Like, hey, we're Chicago's team, we're Illinois' team, we're the heart and soul of Illinois. Bear down, Chicago Bears. You can't say that when you go to Indiana. I'm sorry, you just can't. That's unacceptable. You can't say that. When you say bear down Chicago Bears, and when you say that you're the heart and soul of Illinois, that does not work when you go to Indiana. It just does not. Much like if the Blue Jackets, for some hypothetical scenario, said, we're going to go to Kentucky now. We'll still be the Columbus Blue Jackets, but, we'll play in Kentucky. No, in that hypothetical scenario, it would not work like that. It just would not. It would be stupid and idiotic. Now, we don't have to worry about that because the Blue Jackets are Columbus and they're not going anywhere. But it would be stupid if that happened. The same exact idea with the Bears. It'll still be the Chicago Bears, even if you're in Indiana. Okay, yeah, but it's still, no, stupid and idiotic. I'm sorry. That is just so stupid. And a guy like me, yes, I like the Bengals, are my favorite team, but a guy like me that grows up in Illinois, in the Chicago area, I have a little soft spot for the Bears. And 99% of my family likes the Bears. They watch the Bears religiously on TV. Every Sunday, they're watching the Bears. It's like, oh, what's going on with the Bears? And I do have some fond, like I said, some fond memories growing up. What's going on with the Bears? And you turn on the TV and you watch the Bears for a little bit. And so for you to go to Indiana, which I understand why, but even you put that off to the side, for you to go to Indiana, in my opinion, is very stupid and very idiotic. You're done with the whole Chicago Bears thing, in my opinion. You're done. You're done. You're done with bear down Chicago Bears. You won't be able to do that. And you're done with you're the heart and soul of Illinois. You're done. Just go find a new song now when you score a touchdown now. That's that. And then there's people that they say, oh, it's just over the border in Indiana. It's like 20, 30 minutes away. It's like, okay, yeah, that's true. But you don't understand that area. You don't understand the geography. You don't understand that area. Because the traffic in and around Chicago is god awful. It is awful. There's a reason that when I want to go to Cincinnati to see the Reds play, or I want to go to Columbus to see the Blue Jackets play, that I have to get up at like 3 a.m. in the morning to get down there. Why? Because the traffic in and around Chicago is god awful. If you do not get up at an early time, you're going to be sitting there for a bit because the traffic is awful. And so for these people out there, they'll say, oh, it's only 20, 30 minutes. It's only this, it's only that. Like, no, you do not understand the area. 20, 30 minutes there is actually closer to like an hour because it's just that bad. And then people say, well, but the Jets and the Giants play in New Jersey and they call themselves New York. Well, okay, yeah, they do. But that doesn't make it any better. It's still stupid and idiotic. If you're going to call yourself something, you should be in that area. You should. If you're not, then what are you doing? What are you doing? You know, we can look at every team in the state of Ohio. They call themselves something, and they are those things. They make sense. All the Cleveland teams are Cleveland, and they're in Cleveland. All of the Cincinnati teams, you know, the Reds, the Bengals, and so on and so forth. They're in Cincinnati. They're called Cincinnati, and they're in Cincinnati. The Blue Jackets are Columbus, and they're in Columbus. The Crew, Columbus. They're in Columbus. The Clippers are in Columbus. Like, it just makes sense. It just does. So, I just have to talk about this, and I just have to throw this out there, that it's just so stupid and idiotic. The Chicago Bears, but you're going to Indiana. Just so stupid. Again, like if the Blue Jackets said, we're Columbus, but, you know, playing in Kentucky or something. No, that would be stupid and idiotic too, and it doesn't work like that. But again, we don't have to worry about that because the Blue Jackets are going nowhere, and they're Columbus. They're staying in Columbus. They love Columbus. So, just wanted to, you know, talk about that and just get that out there. Gotta check the bookmarks to see if I have anything else to share. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see here and check the bookmarks real quick if there's anything else. Let's see here. Yes. So good jersey matchups here. This is in the Big Ten. I'm going to put this up on the screen. So this is definitely one of the better jersey matchups that we've seen. Here we have Ohio State hockey playing Michigan in hockey, and we have Ohio State wearing red, and we have Michigan wearing yellow. I like this. This is a good color contrast. I like this. I really do. So I like this. Another thing that I'm going to share. We're going to put this up on the screen here. Another jersey matchup that I like. Put this up on the screen. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to put this up on the screen. So, another good jersey matchup. Here we have Wisconsin playing Michigan. Wisconsin in the dark red and Michigan in the yellow. Also a good jersey matchup. I like this. I like this. And I'm going to share this. So, I want people to stay in their lane. Stay in your lane. Here we have Jonathan Wells, who is a former Ohio State football player. And yes, an Ohio State guy is not very fond of Michigan. I understand that. I do. But you are taking a shot at Michigan for getting knocked out in the Frozen Four. Oh, better luck next time, Michigan, basically. And laughing emojis, poop emoji. And it's like, fine, you can, that's fine. You don't like Michigan. I get it. But as an Ohio State guy, when it comes to hockey, you need to sit down and shut up. You have no room to talk. You don't. Because when you are comparing Michigan to Ohio State, when it comes to hockey, understand that you have nothing. You have no room to talk. You have no room to talk. You just don't. You need to know your place, and sometimes it's better to just stay in your lane and just sit down and shut up. Don't say anything. Said, you know what? I can't talk here. When it comes to football, you can talk because Ohio State beat Michigan. So do your trash talk. Talk all you want. You can do that because Ohio State beat Michigan. But as an Ohio State guy, you have no room to talk when it comes to hockey because Ohio State hockey compared to Michigan is historically god awful. Michigan, when it comes to hockey, is consistently good at hockey. They, at minimum, they're in the NCAA tournament. They make runs to the Frozen Four. They win national championships. They have 9 of them. They win Hobie Baker's, the award for best player in college hockey, just like the Heisman Trophy is for college football. Adam Fantilli for the Blue Jackets, when he played at Michigan, won a Hobie Baker. And 4 of the last 5 seasons for Michigan have been in the Frozen Four. Think about that. 4 of the last 5 seasons, Michigan hockey has been in the Frozen Four. That's ridiculously good. It's hard enough as it is to get to be good and get to 1 Frozen Four, let alone doing 4 Frozen Fours in the last 5 seasons. That is ridiculously good. So Jonathan Wells, you need to sit down and sit this one out and just shut up. When it comes to hockey, you have no room to talk. You don't. You just don't. You just don't. But then again, I don't expect a football guy to understand this. I just don't. Because you probably don't pay attention to hockey, so you probably don't know this, that Ohio State historically is god awful at hockey when you're comparing them to Michigan. Because Ohio State hockey does not have the same pedigree, the same oomph, the same value that Michigan has. Ohio State hockey compared to Michigan, no national championships. You made it to the Frozen Four twice. You won the Big Ten once. And other than that, it's just a whole bunch of just average at best and just kind of just god awful. You understand this? Like, I love the Blue Jackets. I really do. But I understand that the Blue Jackets historically have not had a lot of success. Average at best, they've had some success. But it would be like me if I went to, like, you know, a Detroit fan or a Montreal fan and started talking trash to them. Because then they would look at me funny like, dude, what are you doing? You, generally speaking, have no room to talk. And they would be right. It's the same exact thing with you right here. You're an Ohio State guy. When it comes to hockey, sit down and shut up. You have no room to talk when it comes to hockey because historically, Ohio State has nothing compared to Michigan. Michigan has 9 national championships. They've won the Big Ten and conference championships out the wazoo. They NCAA tournament appearances consistently, Frozen Four appearances consistently. They have Hobie Baker Award winners. They've had 2 players that have won the Norris Trophy. Quinn Hughes, he did it with Vancouver, and of course he's playing for Minnesota now, and Zach Werenski, just like talking on the show today, Blue Jackets defenseman Zach Werenski. He played in Michigan, and he did really good, and guess what? He won a Norris Trophy. That's something that Michigan can say when they're trying to get guys to come to their school. Hey, look, come to Michigan, play hockey. We're consistently good. We have Big Ten championships. We have national championships. We make the NCAA tournament. We get to the Frozen Four consistently. Hey, if you're good enough, you'll win the Hobie Baker. In Michigan, they had 4 guys, 4, that on the USA Olympic hockey team this season. And they won the gold medal. That's another thing. Hey, come to Michigan, and you're going to be really good, and you could probably win the gold medal for USA. And those guys are, okay, yeah, I'll come. No questions asked. Michigan is one of those schools that if you have a guy that's there, a prospect, you love it. You want them to be there. You want them to be at a school like a Wisconsin, a Boston College, a Minnesota, a Michigan, because you know that those schools are historically good at hockey and proven time and time again they can develop talent and produce top talent for the next level. Wisconsin, Cole Caulfield for Montreal, really good goal scorer. Oh, and he just had a 50-goal season this season. You know, Minnesota, Brock Faber, one of the best defensemen in hockey. Stud for the Minnesota Wild. He went to Minnesota. You know, Boston College, Johnny Gaudreau. Cam Atkinson, really good player for the Blue Jackets. He went to Boston College. Michigan, they can say Kyle Connor. They can say Quinn Hughes. They can say Dylan Larkin. They can say Adam Fantilli. They can say Zach Werenski. Ohio State can't do that. They can't. They cannot do that. There is no players that you can say that's really good that can say that. That this guy went to Ohio State or this guy. No, you can't. So historically, Ohio State's not very good at hockey. They don't put the time and effort into hockey. It's football or nothing. If you're not the football team at Ohio State, screw you. You be damned. You mean nothing. We're not going to put any effort into you. And that's why I see all of these people that are Ohio State fans who say, man, that rip on Ohio State saying, man, I wish they'd put more money into the basketball team or the hockey team or baseball team or whatnot. I wish they were better. They'd do this or that. And it's like, yeah, I agree with you there. That'd be cool. But at the same time, that's not happening because that's not who Ohio State is. It's football and everything else. Screw you. Nothing. Because if you're not football, you mean nothing to them. And so because of that, you get teams that are not football that are not very good. So, sorry, Jonathan Wells, I'm going to call you out here. When it comes to hockey, you have no room to talk. You should just shut your mouth and sit down. You have no room to talk. And perfectly, you read some of the comments. Obviously for Michigan people, but it's right to point it out. National champs in basketball. Hockey is just a bonus. Hope you enjoyed it from your couches. Let's see here. Ohio State is only known for one sport. So yeah, and laughing emoji. So yes, that's true. Went to Michigan National Championship Parade Day walking out of the parking garage. I saw an OSU bus, but now they're busting in our rival just to want to see what a real men's basketball national championship felt like. Wonder when Michigan's going to catch OSU national championship sports. Well, okay. Weird comment from an OSU fan. How many Frozen Fours have y'all been to? Where have you been in the Frozen Four? One sports school and still only wins a natty at best every 10 years at best. And then you read the comments that he responds to, and it's a cope because it's like, oh, hockey doesn't matter. 27-9, which is the score that Ohio State beat Michigan, and it doesn't matter. It's like, well, first off, that's not a good response. But second of all, it does matter because if it didn't matter to you, you wouldn't be making this post making fun of Michigan. And that's the truth. But again, you can, when it comes to football, talk all the trash talk you want. Because you have earned that right. Because Ohio State is historically good at football. Year in, year out, Ohio State is going to be good at football. You know that more likely than not, that Ohio State is going to be consistently good at football. Where more likely than not, they will probably win the Big Ten. More likely than not, they're probably going to win a national championship. They're going to get a good bowl game. Ohio State, more likely than not, is going to produce top talent that's going to go to the NFL because that's what Ohio State is. They're consistently good at football. Really good at football. You can trash talk all you want when it comes to football because they're consistently good. Ohio State has earned that. But as an Ohio State guy, you should know that if it's not football, like, I got to sit this one out. I can't really talk, especially when it comes to hockey. Historically, Ohio State is not good at hockey. Michigan is. You want your guys, if you're a prospect, you want them at a school like a Michigan, a Minnesota, a Wisconsin, a Boston College. You would rather not have them at an Ohio State. Your top guys, hell no, you don't want them there. But if you got a guy there, and especially he's really good, you want him out of Michigan, you want him out of Minnesota, you want him out of Wisconsin, a Boston College or something like that. That's what you want. So to finish this out, Jonathan Wells, when it comes to Ohio, former Ohio State guy that played football under Jim Tressel, it comes to football, you can trash talk all you want because Ohio State has earned it. Ohio State has earned it. They're consistently good at football. They have Big Ten championships. They have national championships. They win bowl games. They have Heisman trophies and a whole bunch of other stuff. They're just that good. But when it comes to hockey, sit down and shut up. Sit this one out. You have no room to talk. Because you're an Ohio State guy and you're ripping on Michigan for hockey. Stop. Sit down and shut up. You have no room to talk. You just don't. Because yes, like losing in the semifinals, national championship, like yes, losing, it sucks. But for hockey, for Ohio State, they will never come anywhere near this. They won't because they don't care about hockey. And I guarantee you, Ohio State, if they could have this for hockey, they would take it because they don't have this. They don't have national championships. The men's team doesn't. They don't have national championships. They don't have Big Ten, multiple Big Ten championships, and they don't consistently make the NCAA tournament. They don't go to Frozen Fours consistently. They don't win national championships. They don't have Hoey Baker Award winners. They can't say that, oh, he produced this guy. Oh, he's really good. They can't say that, hey, we have two players that played for us that won the Norris Trophy. Ohio State can't say that because historically they're not good at hockey. They would love to have that, I bet, but they don't. So for you as an Ohio State guy to be making fun of Michigan when it comes to hockey does not make sense, and it's very stupid and idiotic. You just need to sit this one out. You just do. You need to sit this one out as an Ohio State guy when it comes to hockey. Sit down, shut up, and just realize, you know what? If it's not football, I have no room to talk. If it's hockey, I have no room to talk. I have no room to talk because historically we're not very good. Michigan is. That's all I have to say about that. Talk when it comes to football. You can trash talk all you want, but when it comes to stuff like like hockey, do not be ripping on Michigan or other schools that are historically good at hockey, that have that pedigree that Ohio State does not have. And that's all I have to say about that. So, last couple things here. I would like to share some of my favorite mascot logos in the Big Ten, starting off with Minnesota, the Golden Gophers. We have the Gophers playing hockey. That's probably my favorite one. That's cool. A Gopher playing baseball, a Gopher playing basketball. You got the Gopher playing football. So I like that. That is cool. Of course, Brutus. Can't forget about Brutus, the Ohio State mascot. So, of course, got to share this logo right here. And I'm going to put it up on the screen where we have a couple mascot logos of Brutus. I mean, first off, look at this. We got a Brutus logo, and he's playing football. I think that's cool. I like this. And we have a Brutus logo. He's playing basketball. I think that's cool. I like that. But the best Brutus logo out there, clearly, the best Brutus logo out there, clearly, is, I'm going to find this, I'm going to put this up on the screen, right here. It's a Brutus logo playing hockey. Like, Ohio State, listen to me here. You need to sell that. You need to put that on shirts and sweatshirts and like a hockey puck, whole bunch of other stuff, because I definitely get the hockey puck. I would, if you put that on a hockey puck and you sell that, I definitely get that, because it's a cool logo of Ohio State's mascot Brutus playing hockey. And continue, and of course, continuing on with this, theme. So I like looking for different logos and stuff. And here this is blown up because this is a hockey stick that Wisconsin is selling. But on the hockey stick, you have, of course, Wisconsin is the Badgers. Here you have a logo of the Wisconsin Badgers, a Badger logo, and he's playing hockey too. And I really like that. I think that is a cool logo. So I like that. I like that. Very cool logo. Let's see here. Of course, awesome jersey, Brutus logo on the Ohio State hockey jersey. Let's see, where is it? Zach WERENSKI. And the Gophers. I like this look. These are good logos too. The Gophers have awesome logos as well. So that's that. Let's see here. Do I have anything else to share? I don't think I do. I don't think I have anything else to share. Or, let's see here. We'll put this, a couple more things here. We'll put this up on the screen. So, probably this is my favorite picture of Brutus right here. It's Brutus in a Blue Jackets jersey. Always great to see other Ohio sports teams coming together and showing support for the Blue Jackets. And here we have Brutus wearing a Blue Jackets jersey. Just awesome. Blue is definitely your color, Brutus. Looking good. I like it. And then, of course, Jeremiah Smith, who is a receiver for Ohio State's football team. There was a clip going around and he, on Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer has a show, a little podcast that he does with some of his co-workers at Fox, because Urban Meyer, football analyst for Fox for Big Noon Kickoff. And on that show, Jeremiah Smith said something about how when he was on a recruiting visit at Ohio State at the time, he wore a blue shirt, and oh no, they made a big fuss about that. I'm like, oh, don't wear blue again. And I know, blue equals Michigan, and that's bad and everything. And oh, don't wear blue in Columbus, sort of thing. But Jeremiah Smith, I'm here to tell you that Ohio State is wrong. Do not listen to them. It is okay to wear blue in Columbus. It is okay to wear blue in Ohio. Because, the Indians, when they were the Indians, wore blue, and now, of course, they're the Guardians. And what do you know? The Guardians wear blue. The Cavs wear blue. The Reds, at one point in time, wore blue, even though they're called the Reds. But at one point in time, the Reds wore blue. You look at the Clippers, the Columbus Clippers, they wear blue. The Blue Jackets wear blue. So yes, it is okay to wear blue in Columbus, in Ohio. Blue is a popular color that is used by many Ohio sports teams. So it's okay to wear blue, Jeremiah Smith. You can wear blue. You don't have to listen to Ohio State with no, don't wear blue. No, you can wear blue. It's okay. Blue's a perfectly fine color. Blue does not always equal Michigan. Blue also can mean the Blue Jackets. So you can wear blue. It's okay. Wear blue. Don't listen to Ohio State. They have a hissy fit. So what? Because you know what the Blue Jackets did? It's kind of something similar. The Blue Jackets wanted to have Buckeye leaves on their helmet for the outdoor game that the Blue Jackets had at Ohio State. And Ohio State got a little bit pissy about that. Like, oh, no, you can't do that. That's copyright. And you know what the Blue Jackets did? They said, screw you. We're doing it anyways. So that maybe they didn't have Buckeye leaves on the helmet, but you know what? They did Buckeye leaves anyways, and they put Buckeye leaves on the collar of the jersey. And then if at the game, there were little Buckeye leaves on the field next to little cannon logos. So that is an example where the Blue Jackets just said, you know what? Screw you. We're doing it anyways. And I'd say the same exact thing to Jeremiah Smith. Wear blue. Who cares? And if Ohio State gets pissy, so what? Say, hey, get a Blue Jacket shirt or something. A Blue Jackets jersey. A Blue Jackets sweatshirt or something. Say, hey, it's Blue Jackets. It's an Ohio team. It's in Columbus. It's okay to wear blue. It's okay to wear blue, unlike what Ohio State told you. In my opinion, that's kind of stupid and idiotic. But, they're not very fond of the color blue because of Michigan, even though, Ohio State has shown support many times for other Ohio sports teams that, wear blue, like the Clippers, Indians / Guardians, the Cavs, and the Blue Jackets. Ohio State has shown support for the Blue Jackets many times over the years. Yet the world didn't end for showing support for a team that wears blue. So it's okay to wear blue, Jeremiah Smith. It's okay to wear blue. Don't listen to Ohio State and that stupid, idiotic nonsense. It's okay to wear blue. Yeah, you get a Blue Jackets jersey, a Blue Jackets sweatshirt. Look at this one. A Blue Jacket shirt. It's okay to wear blue. It's okay to wear blue. And that's all I have to say about that. All right. Again, let's see. Check the bookmarks to see if there's anything else. Let's see here. Let's see if there's anything else I want to talk about. If not, I'm going to say my stuff and then I'm going to get out of here. Let's see here. I gotta quickly check the bookmarks. Let's see. Let's see here. Anything else? Okay. You know what? We'll put this up on the screen because I saw this. So I saw this recently. And I want to see who did this because I want to give them credit. Let's see here. We have Sports PSD on Twitter. Sports PSD on Twitter has been doing different football helmets for different hockey teams. So the idea is, what if if a hockey team was a football team, and he did it, by division. And here we have a Blue Jackets themed football helmet. So if the Blue Jackets were a football team, at least according to Sports PSD on Twitter, this is his perspective. This is his idea on what he thinks the Blue Jackets would look like if they were a football team, and this is what he thinks what their helmet would look like if they were a football team. And I think this is pretty cool. A little darker shade of blue, the Blue Jackets logo. You got a little red stripe, a white stripe, then blue down the middle of the helmet, Blue Jackets logo, and a red face mask. So I think that's cool. I think that's pretty cool. So that is pretty cool. So let's see here. I think that is going to be the end of that. So, first things first, I'll put this up on the screen. So, if you are looking for a tattoo, you should check out Shatterproof Tattoos in New Philadelphia, Ohio, and get a tattoo from Hefty Duck. So, if you're looking for a tattoo, you should check out Hefty Duck at Shatterproof Tattoo in New Philadelphia, Ohio. So, again, if you're looking for a tattoo, check out Shatterproof Tattoos, not sponsored, and in New Philadelphia, Ohio, and get a tattoo from Hefty Duck. Get a tattoo from Hefty Duck. He does a lot of cool stuff, Get a tattoo from Hefty Duck. So, as always, please like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That would be greatly appreciated. Please tell your family. Please tell your friends. Like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And as always, got to give an awesome shout out to my awesome Uncle Doc. What a good guy. The life of the party. Always love seeing you at family get-togethers and birthday parties and holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas and Easter and so much more. And seeing you at birthday parties and family get-togethers. Love talking sports with you. I did talk about the Bears going to Indiana. You were a big Bears guy and very passionate Bears guy. And if I had to take a guess, I would assume that you would not be very fond with the news that the Bears are going to Indiana. You were also a big Cubs guy. You love the Chicago Cubs. And a big Blackhawks guy. And I just love talking sports with you. And I wish you're still here so I could get your thoughts on how you think the Cubs are doing, because baseball season is here right now, and like to get your thoughts on how you thought the Cubs are doing so far this season. And I'm a big Reds guy, and I could share my thoughts on how I think the Reds are doing. And big hockey guy, wish you're still here so I could get your thoughts on how you think the Blackhawks did this season. And I could share my thoughts with you on how I think the Blue Jackets did this season. And the Blackhawks are your team, but the Blue Jackets became your second favorite team because of me, and I appreciate that. So shout out to my awesome Uncle Doc. I wish you're still here so I could talk some hockey with you and so much more. So shout out to my awesome Uncle Doc. Thank you for everything. And, of course, don't forget to check out Union Blue Soldiers. 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 Follow Union Blue Soldiers on all social media platforms. We do a lot of fun stuff, like, put this up on the screen, like marches. We do marches every year before the Blue Jackets home opener to cheer on the Blue Jackets. Also, we've done them before Blue Jackets home playoff games. So the marches that Union Blue Soldiers does, it's a lot of fun. Check them out. You can be on TV because we've had Clay Hall from ABC 6 News be there, Whitney Harding from NBC4, Adam King from 10 TV has been to the last two marches. Stinger's been to 3 of our marches. People who throw the Goal Patrol, the people who throw like the T-shirts into the crowd at Blue Jackets games have been there. The marches that Union Blue Soldiers does have been featured by the Blue Jackets all over social media, on the scoreboard at Blue Jackets games, ticket commercials for the Blue Jackets all over the Blue Jackets social media. It's a lot of fun. So you're going to want to check this out. Check out the marches that Union Blue Soldiers does before every Blue Jackets home opener. It's a fun way to come together and be with your fellow Blue Jackets fans to cheer on the Blue Jackets. The next one will be before the Blue Jackets home opener, which will be October 2026. So check it out. Check out the Union Blue Soldiers March. And, of course, one last time, check out Union Blue Soldiers. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. Follow Union Blue Soldiers on all social media platforms. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. And the last thing that I will say is that the next show that we will be doing will be on Monday, June 15th, 2026 at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, live on YouTube and Twitter. Again, one last time, the next show that we will be doing will be Monday, June 15th, 2026 at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And again, check out Union Blue Soldiers. So, that's it for me and Hefty Duck. Thank you for watching today's show. We will see you next time. Thank you for watching. We appreciate the love and the support that we get from all of you that have watched our show. So, until next time, we'll see you. So, see you next time. Thank you for watching the show. So, see you next time. Bye now!